I think we're rolling. Okay. First off, I'd like to say thank you for being here. If you are listening to me, that means you're here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome to the Blue Marlin Lifestyle Podcast, two man from Ireland. I want to talk about what it means to be a real man in today's world. I'm true, born in the Bahamas, raised in the islands, and seasoned in America. This show here is for my brothers, young and old, who are learning to stand tall, not stand alone. When I first thought about starting this podcast, I was thinking mainly about the young man back in the Bahamas, and it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of lives being lost. It's just a lot of more like moving towards poverty where people don't have opportunities. Um, then they caught up in a vicious cycle, really living hard. Like I say, not many options, and the things that come with that, they have to end up stealing, either dealing drugs, violence, even killing. That's the normal. But I know for a fact, just like me, most of these young men have high hopes, had high hopes. Some people's dreams got crushed, but I did have dreams. They just don't have outlets. They don't have real options, really. So this podcast is me trying to be a voice, not a perfect voice at all by any means. I'm not perfect, but I want to be a real voice. I'm just like you. I don't have a fortune or all the, a lot of influencers come out here with a fortune or some secret plan or something that you need. I don't have none of that. I have camaraderie, friendship, and I have journey to share that I think a lot of us go through, and I think we need to have those conversations. Um, I want to take a journey shift with you towards what I call, for me personally, is the Blue Marlin lifestyle. For me, it means hard work, perseverance, creating opportunities, and having an undefeatable desire and will to succeed. That's the main thing. It's about elevating yourself without losing your soul in the process. This ain't no highlight reel. This is real life. We can talk honestly. We can talk, and then we're gonna grow together. Because truth is, you don't have to be an island to be a man. So let's get into it. Okay. So let me take you back for a minute. So I left the Bahamas, came to the U.S. Um, on a basketball scholarship. Now, if you are from the Bahamas and you're an athlete, that's your goal, is to get some opportunity um, to come to America, get an education. Worst case scenario, you get your bachelor's or associates, you go back home, you have a degree, so you could, you have some qualifications. Best case scenario, you you get your 4 year degree, you find a job, and you find an opportunity where you can work, maybe even start a family, um, and live in America, or go back and forth, whatever you decide. But like, just getting to America is a big opportunity, right? And that's what I had. I had an opportunity to come over, and you know, just like every other kid who plays basketball was dreaming, I was dreaming to go pro. I wanted to be a professional basketball player coming from the small island. And it was, when I say pro, I don't necessarily mean NBA. There's a lot of people that could, went foreign to like Europe or France, Spain, Mexico. I just wanted the opportunity to go and then play something I loved, and make a living from it. That was my goal. But that changed, when I had a kid. So I had a kid. I had to make some different choices in life, and that's fine. Um, so it really wasn't just about chasing dreams no more. It's about providing, showing up, being solid. I made a choice. I gave up the basketball dream. Once I got my degree, I got a job, and I did what I had to do. And, it's no regrets. I think my oldest daughter especially is one of the greatest gifts I ever had in my life, and I have no regrets about nothing I did to help be there for her instead of traveling as much as I would have been probably traveling back then. But that moment right there, that's where I started carrying the weight. After college, I got married, young husband, young dad, you know, and let me be real, being a dad is hard. I didn't have a clue how to really be a dad at that point, or a husband. So that was difficult. And my dad wasn't the kind of dad that would call you, give you advice, and not to knock him or anything like that. It's just not a typical thing inside, the community I grew up in. Caribbean and Black families, like it's a lot of times there's a rift between the father and the son. Ain't like y'all know that. That's just a thing. So that's what I went through. That's what a lot of us I know going through. You have to figure it all out by yourself. It sucks, you know, but a lot of us make it through. And I applaud the men that actually do it and make a, are there for their kids all the time and don't neglect their kids. Y'all are the winners. Y'all is the winners. Um, so, it wasn't no, I never really had no talks about relationships and things like that. No game on how to be a partner. Just be a man and figure it out. As a matter of fact, when I was going through some troubles in my relationship, my marriage, I remember a quote my dad told me, and I'll never forget this. And this is the only thing, because we don't talk about it. This is the only thing he told me. He said, well, you made your bed, you got to live in it. And that's kind of the mentality that we pass on to men. You have to figure it out. Like, it's kind of like, I have my problems, you got to go figure out your problems, right? And so that's a difficult thing, right? But at the end of the day, like you say, and I would say too, you do have to figure it out, because you can't wait for somebody to be there. You have to do your best until you get where you need to be, right? So here I am, trying to hold it down. My family, trying to be a good man, not really no guy, no relationship, just pressure, and instinct. I made mistakes. I'd say I made a lot of mistakes. I tried to carry it all. Most times I carried it alone. And that's why I really wanted to start this podcast and share the journey and talk and help others through it, because I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a young man right now in the Bahamas or Atlanta or New York or Florida going through the same type of stuff that I went through. And a lot of times you hear people say, "Man, a lot of these young guys don't listen." And now as I'm an older guy, I realized that we already as young guys, we feel that we have to do it on our own. So when somebody's trying to tell us, give us help, we feel like we gotta, we shouldn't take their help, because we gotta figure it out. But we always learn, and that's why men have value as they go through experiences. The more experiences, the more chances for failure. The more failures you have, the more you learn, and the better you'll be, as you move forward, right? And I want to help shift that. I want us to talk about it. I want to build something different, because this isn't just about me. It's really about all of us. And I feel selfish at times when I just think about bettering me or doing things for me. It is selfish. I want to do it. I want to help my friends to be better too. I want their advice on how, things that they know that I could do that could be better. And I believe we could change the story together. So there's this idea, right? Especially amongst Black men, especially coming from the Caribbean, that being a man means handling it all yourself, doing everything yourself. Early on, we hear man up, don't cry, handle your business, don't be a punk, don't be a wimp. Nobody says, hey, let's talk about how you're feeling, or you don't have to do this by yourself. I got your back. And then that mindset becomes dangerous, because before you know it, you carry way more than your share, and you carry it in silence. You become the one everyone depends on, but you have nowhere to go when you need help. And it slowly eats away at your health, your peace, your joy. I've been there, stressed out, long nights, can't sleep, burnt out, snapping on people, feeling like I'm failing and still not telling anybody. That's fake strength. That's pride dressed up as power. But real strength is saying I need help. Real strength is saying I don't have it all figured out. And I want to say this clearly: vulnerability is not a weakness. No. Being honest, being open, admitting you're tired, that takes courage. And pretending you're good when you're not, you end up hurting everybody in the long run, right? The truth is, you was never meant to do this alone. Now, for Black men, especially from like the Caribbean, like the Bahamas, Jamaica, Barbados, we've been trained to do it for so long by ourselves that we don't even know how to reach out. We don't know what to do, right? But we got to change that. Because when we isolate ourselves, we disconnect from healing, from growth, from real brotherhood, and you don't grow in silence. You grow in conversation, in connection, in camaraderie, and brotherhood. But you don't have to be a Superman. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. And once you're real, everything, falls in place. So in this podcast, this whole movement that is the Blue Marlin Lifestyle, it's about building a new type of strength. One where we uplift each other, hold each other accountable, celebrate wins, and work through our losses together. Because, like what they say, iron sharpens iron. So that's what big cuz always tell me, iron sharpens iron. I make you stronger, you make me stronger. And if you're surrounded by nothing but yes men, or people who only show up when you win, that ain't a circle. That's a trap. Those are leeches. Call those leeches or snakes, frauds, whatever you want to call it. But they're not the ones that you want to be around, right? We're breaking that. Like I said, we're breaking that cycle. We're creating real spaces where Black men can be whole, not just strong. All right. So let's talk about something crucial for growth, right? What you need to do. Your inner circle. Now, in conjunction with this podcast, we created an online course and coaching system, for you to join and walk through, help you with the things that you need help with, give you access to lessons, ideas, and really a community of people that want to help you and help you do better. You don't have to join the Blue Marlin Lifestyle movement right now, but you do still, you need to start making some kind of moves. If you do want to join, go to thaliif.com and get plugged into what we're building. It's about more than making a change. We're trying to take action. We're trying to encourage you to take action. We're trying to build a whole new movement of Black excellence, right? This isn't just a place for motivation. It's that community. If you're serious, it's a community for you. If you're serious about changing your life, improving your life, and you've really been waiting to do it for a while. Like, just like me, I've been sitting down back in the day, and there's so many things that I wanted to do that I know, and I would sit there and think about them, and I just didn't do them. You need to take action. We provide you with tools, resources, and the support you need if you want to level up. Career, health, relationships, everything. We're creating a space where you are held accountable, encouraged by brothers who want to see you win, and help you move forward. And again, if you're not ready to join, you don't have to join, but you could still work on building your own inner circle right where you are. Look at the people that you're hanging around. Think about what they really bring to your life. Is it good? Is it bad? Are they on a different level that you want to be on and you're chasing them? Or are you on a different level that they want to be on, they chasing you? Are y'all trying to bring each other up? Just think about it and filter out the things that are not working for you, right? You need men around who will challenge you to grow. Not yes men, not no distractions. You need brothers who will hold you accountable, right? Start by looking at the people close to you. Are the people close to you making you better? Are they challenging you? Are they trying to better themselves? Do they let you do things that you don't want to do, and they don't even say anything that you shouldn't do? Do you do it to them? What type of friendship, what type of relationship do y'all really have? You can think about that, and you really need to sift out. You shouldn't have 50 friends that you call them all the time, hanging out with all the time. That's too much niggas. At the end of the day, if I could be explicit, that's too much. And I don't even want to say niggas too much on my podcast, but that's too much niggas. You just need a few good people in your corner. You may just need one. But you got to break down all the people that you're around and try to figure out who is that one, right? If you don't have that kind of support right now, it's definitely the time that you need to evaluate your circle. Start having those hard conversations with them guys. Reconnect with men who have real goals and similar goals and values to what you're doing. Don't just hang out with people because you went to school with them and you played ball with them, or you used to talk to girls with them, meet them in the club. If they're not bringing nothing to your life, you need to go ahead and let that go. You need to make it real. I want to make this movement real. It's not just about words, it's about action, and I want you to be a part of it. So make sure you work on your own inner circle. And if you want to join the life, go to thaliif.com, join the Blue Marlin Lifestyle movement. And again, wherever you're at in your journey, just make sure you have the right circle around. That's where everything starts. Now, I ain't gonna talk your head off like crazy, right? I don't want to do that. But what I do have is I have a few daily tasks, a few practices that I want you to try. Um, like I say, I want to hold you accountable. You know, I want to be held accountable. I want you to hold yourself accountable. I want you to make some changes. I'm saying just about listening to the podcast. It's too much Bahamians, or let's say it's too much lack of Bahamians with podcasts that are actually trying to help you. There's a lot of news podcasts. The second somebody got shot, people, you get notifications on your WhatsApp. The second some fight is out of school, you get notifications on your WhatsApp. But when there's motivation, there's nothing pushing to you. So I want to start changing that narrative. Um, so I want to do two things. One, I want to do a check-in challenge. I want you to check in either under this post or just in a text message, a phone call. I want you to check in with one friend that you have that you haven't talked to in a while. Or, don't even matter if you talked to them a while now, but check in with somebody and check and see how they're doing. Generally, ask them how and see how they're doing. Right? It'll be even better if you have a friend that you know might have went through some hard times and you haven't talked to in a while. Call them and see what do you got going on. See if you all we all can hang out and just talk to them for a second. There's no reason. You just want to hang out and just spend some time around a buddy and give him a moment to vent if he need to, or just be around and give him a person to to feel, give him some good energy, whatever it is. One person this week. We actually want to do that every week. So this is the first week. I want you to call one person and make sure you're actually genuine about it. That's the main thing. The second thing is I want to start journaling things, right? Because I'm going to do it for myself too. Now I'll put my things on the here too, and my person that, when I call them, you'll know what's the deal. But I want you to put one thing under this post, one thing that you're struggling with. Not, the next thing that you want to work on, not something that's the biggest thing, not the last thing that was complained about, not the last thing that you thought about. Just put something that you want to work on. Post it on the air so people see what you're talking about. Make yourself, put some out there. Make a risk, take a chance. You know what I mean? Post on the here what thing you haven't struggled with, and just write it. That's all. That's two things. So remember, you just never meant to do this alone. Stop suffering in silence. Don't pretend like you got it all figured out. There's a brotherhood, or build a brotherhood. Like that's what you want. Build a brotherhood that lifts you up. Because being a man, again, doesn't mean being an island. It means building something bigger than you. Follow on Blue Marlin Lifestyle on Instagram. Share this episode with a man who needs to hear it. And if you vibe with this, come back. I just getting started. This is the first solo podcast that I did. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, thank you for being here. Until next time, walk good, talk real, and bless up.